What do you think about LeBron addressing you after what they did? I believed it was weak. It seemed like a bunch of crap to me. At first, I didn't want to talk about it. Yes, of course. I didn't want to talk about it. I wasn't going to talk about it. But now that the tape is public, I feel like I need to talk about it. The king. He's too big to be mean like that. To make fun of Stephen A. and Brian Windhorst. Brian Windhorst is a nice guy. His only goal is to do his thing. I've always liked LeBron, but the fact that he was mean made me dislike him. LeBron James can't seem to get a break right now. Charles Barkley has now joined the fight and is shooting at LeBron. He has a lot to say about him. If you missed it, Stephen A. Haha. Smith said something mean about LeBron's son Bronny, which started a heated argument between the two. Everyone knows that LeBron doesn't mess around with his family, especially his kids. He lost it with Stephen during a game, which made things even worse. Of course, Stephen isn't the type to back down from a mess. He then clapped back and told LeBron that what he was saying was not true. It turned into a full-on fight after that. When they kept going back and forth, things quickly got ugly because LeBron wouldn't budge. Charles Barkley just stepped in and called out LeBron for trying to pick on Stephen. Charles thinks that LeBron is hiding something behind all of this trouble because he is doing way too much. Charles said that LeBron isn't telling us the whole story, which has made people talk. What did LeBron say that made Charles so mad? What might LeBron be hiding from everyone? Let's start. We won't stop until Charles Barkley stands up for Stephen A. Smith against LeBron and the big machine behind him. LeBron just recently went on the Pat McAfee show to talk about his problems with Stephen, so it makes sense that Charles would feel this way. LeBron doesn't usually give talks away like candy, so this is crazy. Aside from talks at the court or for promotions, he's not on podcasts very often. Fans knew LeBron was going to shoot at Stephen when they heard he was going after Pat McAfee. He did not fail. When he was being interviewed, LeBron did everything he could to make himself look like the victim and Stephen like the bad guy who did everything. He said he was just a dad looking out for his family, and that he had no choice because Stephen came to protect his family. It's to you and Stephen A.O. Okay, true. It seems like that moment had been building for a long time. He's kind of on a Taylor Swift tour right now. Yes, of course. We are in fact watching. We can all see it too. And the laugh LeBron made. After saying what he said about Taylor Swift, you knew he was going to rip into Stephen, and he did. LeBron threw the shade right out there for everyone to see. He didn't even try to hide it. It began with, I didn't want to talk about it. Yes, of course. Sure, I didn't want to talk about it. I wasn't going to talk about it. But now that the tape is public, I feel like I need to talk about it. I would never stop people from talking about sports or criticizing what stars do on the court. It's your job to criticize or to be in a place where, if a guy isn't working, that's just part of the game. It's all part of the game. However, if you take it personally, it is my duty to protect not only my own family but also the players. I think a lot of the media, including him, will be very happy. I know he will be. He is going to be very happy when he hears me talking about him again. Oh my God, but what's the catch? LeBron didn't get the response he was looking for. People who know him well thought that because he is the GOAT, they would support him. But instead, they were with Stephen and said LeBron went too far. On a recent live stream, Charles Barkley called out LeBron for being mean. Barkley is riding with Stephen. Who had a better week? What about Stephen A. Smith or LeBron James? Both of them had a terrible week. The king, he's too big to be that kind of to be mean to Stephen A. and Brian Windhorst. Brian Windhorst is a nice guy. His only goal is to do his thing. And I've always liked LeBron, but the fact that he's mean turned me off, Dan. That's crazy how this story turned into a storm. When it started, it seemed like something that would end in a few days. Now, though, it's still hot outside. This is how it all began. The author, Stephen A. Smith said that LeBron is putting too much pressure on his son Bronny just because he wants to share an NBA court with him. LeBron has always said that he wants to play with his son Bronny, but Stephen saw right through that. It's not that he thinks a father-son team in the league is a bad idea, but because he thinks Bronny isn't ready for all that heat yet. Also, let's be honest, it's already hard to be the son of what might be the best basketball player of all time. Steven wasn't afraid to say out loud that he has high hopes. Everyone is always looking at Bro, even though he wasn't even a top draft pick. All eyes are on him. Steven A. Thinks that LeBron should have let Bronny stay in the G League to improve his skills instead of bringing him into the NBA right away. Steven thinks that putting Bronny on an NBA court before he's fully ready could hurt his long-term development as a player. He has made it clear that he doesn't think Bronny is ready for that NBA smoke. Stephen A. says that there are a lot of young players practicing hard to get into the game. He thinks there are kids who might deserve that chance more than Bronny. Many people agree with Stephen's point of view, even if it seems harsh to some. A great deal of people have said the same thing about Bronny's NBA spot. Bryant should keep going to school, because Bronny isn't a top pick right now, which means his name won't be called. There is a small chance that your son will be able to be like you. In the end, he is not yet a good enough player to play in the NBA. Even better, this isn't the first time Charles Barkley has talked about LeBron. Charles has already said what he thinks about Bronny's readiness for the NBA. As for how the Lakers dealt with Bronny's case, he said they should have taken it slowly instead of putting him through the ringer right away. Charles believes Bronny would do much better to stay in the G League, work on his game, and show what he can do first. If he does that when he finally plays in the NBA, it will be because he really deserves it and not just because his father is famous. Bronny has a chance. First, I'm glad he's healthy. He belongs in the G League, in my opinion. Right now, he's not ready to play in the NBA. And he's likely to spend it. He should also play in the G League because he's not ready to play in the NBA yet. Second, some guys are going to try to kill him, but he's not ready because he's still in his tweens. He plays point guard and two guard and two guard. His best skill right now has probably been as a defender. So I think we should ease up on him and let him improve as a player. He needs to be in the dream. Also, before anyone tries to make this about LeBron being jealous, it's not that. A lot of people have said the same thing about Bronny's path to the NBA. Take Jonathan Giovanni, who works for ESPN as an NBA draft expert. It was made clear why Bronny was taken off the pro potential list from last year, and there are crazy specifics. Jonathan said on NBA that Bronny was doing about as well as anyone could expect, given that he had recently been through some major health problems. Jonathan said, "I still love Bronny James's game. We need to remember that this kid missed 4 months of school because of a heart problem that began in July. His season seemed to be over because of it." Finally, Bronny was taken off the list because of this, and LeBron did not like it. All of the people concerned got angry with LeBron and said they hated his son. He even went on Twitter and said, "Please let the kid be a kid and enjoy college basketball. No matter what he does, the work and results will speak for themselves in the end. He doesn't care what a fantasy draft says if you don't know. He only works and earns what he gets." In a separate message, LeBron told all the other kids out there who want to be great to keep your head down, blinders on, and keep grinding. These fake drafts don't mean anything. I promise that the work is the only thing that counts. Come on, let's talk about real basketball. But Stephen A. Smith didn't wait a second to call LeBron out on that rant. He directly blamed LeBron for all the bad things that happened to Bronny. He said, "The kid is just out here trying to focus on his game, but LeBron keeps making him a headline." What do you think about what LeBron said? That this is all his fault. Everything. That kid hasn't done anything when we get to Bronny James. The kid has only worked hard, tried to improve his game, and done other things. Everyone who has paid attention to him has done so because of his dad. My son and I want to play. I'd like to stay here until my son makes it to the NBA. People have talked to Savannah and LeBron, and they were asked about Bronny. What did she say? "I only want the best for my son." Okay, I want to play in the NBA, LeBron. We want that. From the beginning, Stephen A. has said the same thing. He has been telling LeBron to stop trying to make this father-son moment happen in front of the cameras and let Bronny grow up on his own. We get it too. It's a big deal in any sport when a dad and his son play on the same team. Because it's never been done in the NBA before, it would be even bigger for LeBron and Bronny. We've seen it happen in other sports, but this would be the first time ever in NBA history. Check out Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey. It wasn't the first time a father and son played together in the MLB. They played in the same area and had some of the best times ever with each other. That's how history is made. Also, don't forget Gordie Howe, who was one of the best hockey players ever. He won 4 Stanley Cups and 6 Most Valuable Player awards. When he left, he had scored more points than any other player in NHL history. He was even on the NHL 100th anniversary team. But as famous as his job was, one of the coldest things he ever did was go out on the ice with both of his boys, Mark and Marty Howe. Plus, it wasn't just one time. They played together for 5 years. LeBron has said many times that his biggest dream is to play with Bronny. But what does that really mean? Does Bronny really want the same thing? Is he ready for it if he does? Many people say that LeBron should think about what's more important: competing with his son on the court for the cameras, or letting Bronny make his own history and become great on his own terms. And he knows Stephen A. Smith will always tell him that. That kid hasn't done anything when we get to Bronny James. The kid has only worked hard to get on the game and do other things. Everyone who has paid attention to him has done so because of his dad. My son and I want to play. The most recent thing Stephen A. said about Bronny must have upset LeBron, since Stephen said it on ESPN right after Bronny had a bad game as the Lakers lost to the 76ers. Bronny played for 15 minutes and didn't give up a single point. He had a hard time with the game. But let's be honest, it wasn't really a surprise. During the news conference after the game, Bronny's coach, J.J. Redick, looked very upset. He tried to explain it away. The kid seems like he could do well. I believe the kid will play in the NBA someday. In the G League, I saw him do his thing. I believe he will be okay in the end. But that's not the case yet. Also, Stephen A. did make some good points. There's no way for Bronny to improve his skills in the NBA, and he doesn't look good there. If they keep putting him in games before he's ready, the league will eventually chew him up and spit him out. No matter how much money and power Daddy has, Bronny can only go so far. But LeBron wasn't going to let Stephen A.'s words go without a fight. Things went crazy when Stephen A. Smith and LeBron were in the same stadium at the same time during the Lakers vs. Knicks game. The Lakers won that night. While LeBron and Bronte were playing, Stephen was relaxing by the court. But no one could have known what would happen next. There was a break in the third quarter when LeBron walked right up to Stephen A., and things quickly got hot. When Stephen said something bad about Bronte, LeBron told him straight out to stop saying his son's name. Things were tense, but that wasn't the end of it. At first, no one knew for sure what LeBron said in that heated moment, but their faces showed that it wasn't a nice conversation. LeBron later talked about it with Richard Jefferson of his pen during a Lakers vs. Celtics game, and part of what they said was caught on camera. Fans quickly figured out what was making LeBron so angry. Many fans were on LeBron's side and making fun of Stephen for apparently calling LeBron a bad dad because he's trying to give Bronny the chances he never had as a child. Stephen A. Smith wasn't going to let that go, though. Not at all. When he went on Gilbert Arenas' show, Gil's Arena, he laid it all out. What do you think about LeBron addressing you after what they did? I believed it was weak. It seemed like a bunch of crap to me. But at that very moment, I knew I was hearing a fart. Stephen didn't shrink from the trouble. He said he wasn't making fun of Bronny or calling LeBron a bad dad. But that wasn't all he said. Stephen repeated what he had said before, saying that anyone who couldn't see or wouldn't accept that LeBron's choices about Bronny's career were if he was crazy. Do you need me? Pick him up. I'll be upset. It's not even about the money where he is. When he was in high school, this man said he was better than some NBA players are now. If you look at the tape again, I told you to stop back then. This is not possible. You'll put more stress on your son if you do that crap. Hey LeBron, stop. That was before he was chosen, I said. Do not do this. That's your dad and you know a lot about basketball. You need to see this. Do not do this. He won't be able to handle being looked at so closely by you. Allow him a chance. That's what I said. And the only reason I said as a dad at the beginning was because you used that to sell yourself as his dad to help him get into the league. That wasn't done by Melo, and I know he wouldn't. D. Wade. There was no one like D. Wade. Tim Hardaway Sr. Rick Barry, or the list goes who did that. Not one of them. He's the only one. I told you, yo. That's why I'm telling you this. This is not something I want to do. I know that your goals are good. I said it all on tape, so watch it again. I know that your goals are good. Even though you don't mean to hurt him, there are birds outside that will attack him. People on the internet have different opinions about this story. Like Steven, some people think LeBron is being mean and pushing Bronny too hard, while others say LeBron is just putting too much pressure on him. Haha. Sometimes you can see where Stevens is coming from, and other times you can see LeBron as a dad trying to give his son a chance to shine. But let's not lie. People's views changed when LeBron went on the McAfee show and said those mean things about Stephen A. This made Charles Barkley call him out for being a bully. At the same time, Stephen A made it clear over and over that he wasn't mean to LeBron or Branny. He was just saying what everyone else was afraid to say about LeBron. I'd like to know what you think about this whole thing. A lot of people say that LeBron is acting like a bully. Do you agree? Do you think LeBron should calm down and let Bronny find his own way without all the fuss? Write what you think in the box below, and let's talk about it. Please like, subscribe, and share if you want to see more videos like this. Don't miss the action. Ring that bell. I'll see you in the next one.